Did I fail trying to become fit by 50? And how many calories do you actually need to eat to become a massive fatty? Let's dive into it. And if you get that reference, put it in the comments below. Okay, so I started this channel a few years ago because I wanted to become fit by 50. And then I kind of stopped posting. And now I am 51 years of age. So did I mess up? Yes and no. I also did, because I like doing numbers, I did some calculations to find out exactly how much I was overeating. Because I still have it. We all have this sort of belief. We look at big people and we've been programmed to think that they're greedy or they're lazy. I even when I was posting on this channel and I've got no subscribers, practically hardly anyone is watching, and I would get comments on this video where I was posting up my receipts that I was working out for over 2 hours a day, going for long hikes, swimming, working out at the gym, doing stuff in my house. I was being very clear that I was working out. I had my gym membership, I was posting the receipts here, and people would post comments going, the only exercise you're getting is going to the fridge. And yeah, I know people like to troll on the internet, but it is also a thought. Now, that is not saying that we all can't do better. But yeah, it's a way that we've all been sort of programmed into thinking about people. And is it right? Yes and no. But firstly, did I fail? Well, yes and no. I'll explain some of the things that happened while I was on that tear to really try and get fit and lose a bit of weight before my 50th birthday. A few things happened. I have a knee condition, runner's knee, believe it or not. And I really had a bad end of the year with that flaring up several times. And when that flares up, I'm not being a baby about it. It's very painful I can't walk for a couple of days. It wakes me up out of my sleep. It's very, very nasty. And generally the reason it flares up is either from not doing enough or from doing too much. Like if I drive a very long distance where my knee's fixed and I'm not really moving it that much, then I can get a flare up. Or if I do too much working out, then I can get a flare up. So I had a couple of very, very big flare ups. And that does not make for a happy me. I'm a miserable person. Now, I will explain, I'm not really an emotional eater. I just have a very big appetite. I I can eat a large amount of food. I could become a competitive eater. And yeah, I just have a very large appetite. And when you are sitting around and there's nothing else to do, it's easy. Well, it's hard to distract yourself from that food noise. That this is cool that this is a term that's come into the conversation now, because I just thought it was me being a terrible person. But when I'm sitting around, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm not eating enough, there's a voice in my head, or there was, we'll talk about that in a different video, but there's a voice in my head going, you've got a pack of nuts through the house. There's chocolate there. Hey, do you know? And when you're hungry and you've constantly got a voice reminding you that there's some food you could be eating, you can run off willpower for so long. But compared to someone who's not got that voice in their head, it's much, much harder, because you're constantly having to say, no, I'm not going to have that. No, I'm not going to have that. So sitting around, not being able to go out for a walk, not being able to do things, I ate a little bit. Now, I did keep up with my exercise. Unfortunately, towards the end of that year, I also lost my little dog, which it's much harder for me to be able to walk so much without having a companion. I would My hikes were like the back of beyond, out into the countryside, places where I probably shouldn't have been walking. And it's much easier when a farmer comes out and yells at you, what are you doing here? I'm walking my dog. You feel legitimate. Whereas if you're just going off for a hike by yourself as a lone female, it is a little harder. So I tried to keep up some walking there. It was a little harder. I still have my gym membership and I was going regularly, swimming and working out. However, also to be productive with my time, I would swim and then I would go and get my shopping in for the few days. So again, if you've worked out really hard, it's difficult not to put a little extra in your basket because you're hungry. So I got in the habit of going, oh, well, my gym day, that's my shopping day, that's my little cheat day. So I was still most days behaving myself, but add to that the age has made weight loss completely different. Things I used to be able to go on a diet, lose half a stone in a week, sort of maintain it for the rest of the month, and then the next week in that month, do another half a stone. So I could easily lose weight without really feeling like I was doing anything. Whereas now I would be what I felt like tracking my calories, I'd be really quite depriving myself for most of the month. And then I would have a day of having a little cheat thing, and that would put on more weight than all the time of depriving myself. So it became very disheartening. So yes, I did put on a bit of weight. I was getting fitter. Fit is very important. I was getting fitter. So I ended up just before I turned 50 at probably my highest weight ever, but my measurements were much lower than they had been. So I was fitter, I was firmer, but I was definitely carrying too much weight. So yes, in that respect, I did fail. But I'm working on it. I have had an improvement. I've since turning 50, I have turned things around. I've still got a long way to go, but I'll pop up some pictures of me at turning 50 and now. I I don't even feel the difference in myself. I pulled those pictures up just to see what was going on because I'm in front of camera a lot. I'm in the same angle at the same lighting, and I was amazed by the pictures. Not only can I see a difference, still a long way to go, but there's certain other things. I don't know if anyone's interested. I'll maybe go into this at a later date. I'd been having real problems feeling old because the skin in my eyes was getting really saggy, especially this eye. I was really starting to lose the lid. I could see my eye. This is disgusting. I could see my eyelid sometimes hanging down. um, and I actually see a difference. Let me know if I'm hallucinating. And I have done some things to try and improve that. I'll go into them in a later video if you're interested. But definitely, I feel I know I've lost a good bit of weight just now. So I will also go into what I'm doing there in a later video. But today's other subject, I'm rambling already. Today's other subject, I just had this random thought and I wanted to share it with you because I'm a bit of a numbers nerd. And I thought to myself, I was going through in my head the weights I've been and the struggles I've had basically since for the past 30 years. I've been struggling with my weight. My biggest weight gain was between the age of 30 and 40. I put on around 4 stone. That is 56 pounds. And I wanted to figure out how much was I overeating to put on that. That's a massive amount of weight. So how much was I overeating to put on that in 10 years? And I did the calculations, and if there's anyone watching this, if not, this is just a video diary for me. If there's anyone watching this, let me know how much do you think you have to overeat to put on 4 stone in a decade? That is quite a normal. Now, I know people can do it much faster than that, but that is what I did. So if we look at, there's 3,500 3,500 calories in 1 pound. I've scribbled down my notes here. So that would be 196,000 calories in the 10 years. 196,000 excess calories in that 10 years. That is massive. I can see the hate in the comments, but just wait. 19,600 excess calories in a year. Divide that by 365 for the days in a year. To gain that massive, unhealthy, in my opinion, amount of weight, I was overeating by, I actually, did someone else do the maths and check I'm right, but I'm right. To gain 4 stone in 10 years, I was overeating by an average of 54 calories a day. That is one apple a day. Now, was I steady with that? No, because I was fighting my weight. So I would be dieting, going off the rails, dieting, going off the rails. But it just tells you, like, you look at people, like overweight people, and they'll say they're not eating that much. And you're like, well, you must be. Now, yes, they're eating too much, but it's not necessarily as much as you think. You can put on 4 stone in a decade by eating an apple a day too many. Wow. It just goes to show. And I think over the past few years, with the rise of some medications and all sorts of things, hopefully the conversation is turning from overweight people being lazy and gluttonous and having no self-control and being negative things into that, or understanding that there is something more going on there. If I've had, when I was younger, I was of a good weight. I believed I wasn't. I felt I was fat. I very much wasn't. But at that time, I could be more active because you're more comfortable in your body going out and it's easy to do all of the things. So I was more active, and being more active meant I could eat more. Very large appetite, remember, but also it meant you were doing things so you were forgetting about needing to eat. So you were eating more at regular times. So you're able to regulate it a whole lot more easily. Um, yeah, but that's enough rambling for just now. I don't know if anyone's going to watch this or be interested, but I found those numbers very fascinating. I hope you let me know in the comments what you think, and yeah, I'll go into what I've been doing in the next video. So if you have watched and you've got this far, please subscribe.